A massive thank you to Polgar, Zeliko, Gerald, Gabriel and Toto for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 11 of Season 6 of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode, where yes, today we're here back for the Belgian Grand Prix. Of course, we've reached that weird stage again where the My Team Career Mode and the Williams RTG have kind of now reached the same point in their calendars. But of course, if you missed out on the last video from this series, to be honest, both the last race in this series and the last race in the Williams RTG are certainly ones that you want to go back and watch there. But yeah, Silverstone though, last time around, very controversial end to that Grand Prix. Of course, there will be spoilers in just a moment. But at the time of recording this, we're now less than 200 subscribers away from 40k. You know, like I keep saying, the support is mental at the moment. But if you're not already, please do leave a like and get yourself subscribed as well for more Formula 1 content. As well, of course, this is being recorded before the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix today, so, of course, yeah, there'll be no discussion about what's going on there, because I don't know what's happened just yet. But anyway, far more importantly, though, looking at our championship, last time round, yeah, controversial end there with huge mechanical issues for us. In fact, we nailed the control electronics where they're completely at 100%, so that has had to be swapped out. We have, however, got all new parts going into the car, which should see us most of the way through the second half of the year here. I'm looking at it going, we might need one more control electronics, but we might just be able to stretch it out towards the end of the campaign there. Championship-wise, though, it's all square between myself and Max Verstappen as we leave Silverstone there. He's had 5 wins, though, to my 3, but we've been far more consistent. He's either won or not finished on the podium. We finished off the podium twice all year there. We've obviously had those 3 wins, or sorry, 3 times we've been off the podium, looking at it now. Yeah, we've had 3 wins, 2 second places and 2 third places to Max Verstappen's 5 wins and 3 fourths, as well as a 6th and a 10th. So yeah, 6 races to go of the year. It's all square at the front of the championship. Red Bull lead the way constructors-wise by 16 points now after Perez has had a really good run of form there and Gasly's been a bit unlucky. But Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps, this should be a good track for us. Let's get into the Belgian GP weekend. It's always the problem I faced as well when we go from one series to another on F1 2021 when the tracks do overlap. I really struggle to sort of get my eye back in. Most notably with the faster car there, just not carrying enough speed through some of the corners, because I'm expecting this thing to handle like a fairly well-developed Williams, but certainly not on the same level as this My Team car as we head out of the final corner. We'll just about pick up the DRS there. Is that purple? Not quite. Probably not doing myself any favours as well at the moment, trying to learn F1 2021 on PC. It's a very different kettle of fish on PC, mainly just through the braking and the throttle, but you know, we're getting there slowly but surely, of course, doing those last question mark challenges. But anyway, fuel simulation run now. This one should be, I mean, around Spa, I say with confidence now, should be a fairly simple purple score. Plenty of places where you can lift off and save some fuel. 2 seconds up though as we head up in towards Blanchimont. Of course, yeah, completely pinned in this car. And yeah, near enough 3 seconds up now, so we'll try and save a bit of fuel as we head down in towards the bus stop chicane that I absolutely love coming back to Spa. And out of the final corner then, we'll just coast it up towards the line in purple. There we go, let's get into quali. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Right, well here we are then, qualifying day at the Belgian Grand Prix. Let's see first of all then whether we can try and put a good lap in on the medium tyres here, because looking at the weather for the race, this could actually be fairly critical there. No guarantee, but it looks like if you guys watched the Williams RTG video from a few days ago, we could get similar weather today, so we might be in for another cracker here. As we head up through ROUGE and Radion, completely pinned of course. Yeah, good times on the softs are high 38, so if we can sort of set a mid to high 39 here, of course a very, very long lap, I'd be pretty happy. Lance Stroll out of nowhere completely obliterates any time set in Q1 with a 38.3 there. That has really, Mercedes have kept that one quiet earlier on in the session, but round in the final couple of corners then to finish off our first lap here. Of course, on the mediums, it is going to be a 39.5. Sandwiched between the Aston Martins won't be good enough for Q3, but there's definitely mid to high 38s in the car. As Perez now sets a 38 flat, Red Bull and Mercedes have hidden away some pace. Right, second run then in Q2. Luckily, of course, I say luckily, we ended up P11 after everyone had done their first run, so at least there was none of that do we gamble it trying to just make it through on the medium compound tyres here. You know, 6 rounds to go of this World Championship. We need to have a good run of form here, as the last couple of races certainly haven't been. Bit of a wobble at the final corner, but let's see how much more time we can find then. We're looking for about 1.5 seconds. We want to be well and truly competitive there as we try and kick the back end out slightly at turn 1. Put all those, well over 1,000 ponies through those very, very fat rear tyres. Up through a Rouge. Just hear the car scraping away underneath you. We're running quite a low ride height this weekend as well. Let's try and maximise the top end speed, but the first sector's never really where you gain a lot of time. It's pretty much all in sector 2 there as fourth gear tipping in. Curbs there are brutal. To actually get a little bit out of shape there, that is not going to help us out, but we do still find more time. And we are just finding time absolutely everywhere at the moment. Oh, get a warning there for track limits, so got to be careful of that in Q3. As we head up now, powering in towards Blanchemont, pretty much now a second up, so it looks like we have still got some pace to fight with against those front runners there. Perez, like we said, on a 38.0, slamming the anchors just at the 100 metre board, tip it into the final chicane. We're still finding time though as the lap unfolds up towards the line though. This should easily see us into Q3. It's a 38.2. That I'm pretty happy with. And there we go then, having a look at the times at the end of Q2 there. We ended up in a Red Bull sandwich just 1/10 away from Sergio Perez there, but Verstappen in P3 ahead of Stroll and Lando Norris there. Pierre only able to set a 38.9 at the moment, so we are really trying to drag the team and keep up with Red Bull at this stage of the campaign. No major surprises out in Q2. It's always one of the McLarens because Lando Norris seems to make it through every other time at the moment. But yeah, we got to try and get this done in one lap. Trying to do a lap of Spa in 98 seconds flat is more difficult than it sounds. Right, first lap then here of Q3. This one's just got to be a banker lap. Make sure we get a good time on the board there. It's a really nice run at the final corner. Yeah, if we can just try and set another sort of low 38 here, at least that means then on our second run we've got time to chase. Of course, there was a couple of mistakes actually on that first lap as well. Of course, most notably at the end of the Camel Straight there through the chicane. Oh, much better line through a Rouge as well. We've got to be braver towards that inside curb. It doesn't feel like much difference, but it does just give you that little bit extra as you power down the Camel Straight, or up the Camel Straight, I should say. Surprisingly steep up towards the top of the hill there. You never realise it until you go to this track in real life. It's just tipping it through there. You can see how much better that line was than the lap before. But let's just concentrate now and see how this lap unfolds. Perez immediately set another good banker there of a 38.3. Are we up on Checo? Yes, we are, by about a 10.5. But the AI tend to be just that little bit quicker through the final sector. Carlos Sainz now in the Ferrari, revealing a 138.2. So it looks like we could have 3 or 4 different teams in the scrap here for pole position. Braking once again, though, at the 100. In fact, just a little bit early that time round. Verstappen into a league of his own. A 37.8 there as we head out of the final corner. All we can manage is a 38.3. But Max Verstappen, that sets a precedent for the final runs. Getting ready then, final lap here of the Belgian Grand Prix qualifying session, and we are going to need some sweat mode. If we can try and put this thing up towards the front of the grid, I would probably take that. Let's see if a 37 is doable, or at least a 38.0 as we tip it in through turn 1. Really try and get on the throttle nice and early there, and we have immediately found 1/10 of a second. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we need to try and carry this pace. Right, the lap there is again not the best line through Eau Rouge and Radion, and this is what I mean, just costs you fractions of a second as you head up the Camel Straight here. Looks like there's a few more cars on their final laps, but yeah, we need to sweat. Last lap's felt pretty good so far. They're really using up all the curbing. Had to do a slight blend of throttle though, as we head up out of the Stavolo there, up in towards Blotchemont. Trying to remember the right corner names at the moment, but we're basically on for a 38 dead, but we lost a bit of time through the bus stop chicane. Let's try and nail it. Super careful then not to brake too early or too late. Out of the final corner though, up towards the line. We found the time. What's it going to be? It's a 37.7 out of nowhere. Okay, love that.
Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
Oh, that was basically the perfect lap I think I'll do on F1 2021, and we take it away from Verstappen.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Mr. Monaco, Verstappen and Lance Stroll. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Well, there we go then, a 10th clear of Max Verstappen at the end of qualifying for the Belgian Grand Prix, and I think that's just our second pole of the year there. But Pierre Gasly, 1.2 seconds behind me there at the end of running. It felt like, to be honest, a pretty much perfect lap. There might have been maybe another tenth and a half in it for me. But yeah, that was as close to perfection as I think I'm going to get on F1 2021 there. Verstappen P2 ahead of Lance Stroll, and Carlos Sainz does make it 4 cars from 4 different teams inside the top 4. But yeah, changeable conditions here for the Belgian Grand Prix predicted. Let's get into it.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Mr. Monaco lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Stroll, Sainz, Sergio Perez, and Tsunoda. Gasly, Leclerc, Norris, and Valtteri Bottas. Ricciardo, Russell, Christian Lundgaard, and Aitken. Joe, Ocon, Callum Islet, and Nicholas Latifi. Mazepin, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, and Robert Schwartzman. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Jeff, we ain't aiming for top 10s, mate. We're aiming for dubs here at the Belgian Grand Prix. But look at that weather prediction. Oh, dearie me. The game once again thinking it's going to go from dry to wet to maybe starting to dry out again towards the end of the GP. So tyre strategy today is going to be anybody's guess there. But it looks like it's going to be a fairly quick race, you know, weather depending here. So yeah, I think I have, to be fair, I have actually made the setup a little bit more downforce orientated this weekend. I forgot to mention that in qualifying. We're actually running, I think, 7-8 wings here, which is slightly higher than what I'd normally run at Belgium. But of course, yeah, we can run 8-8 if we need to later on in the day. But just got to try and keep, sort of keep these soft tyres in good nick. We need a good start as we head down in towards turn 1 here. Last time round, I think when we started last on the front row was Canada. And I bottled that at T1, so fingers crossed we won't have the same thing today. But ready on the grid then, here at the Belgian Grand Prix, a must-win GP. 5 red lights. Let's lights out, and away we go. No wheel spin, but no throttle either. As we head down in towards the first corner, Max Verstappen is going to take the lead there. He's actually really struggling with the balance of the car off the exit of turn 1. Looks like we do hang on, though, to P2 ahead of Sir Lancelot, but I'm sure Verstappen, the dream start for him. We've already got yellow flags out. Sergio Perez has gone. What's happened to Checo immediately in this GP? So riding on board then with Sergio Perez as we head down the hilly side by side with our teammate Pierre Gasly. How did he loop it there? Ah, I think I've worked out the problem. It turns out they were 3 wide, heading in towards the Rouge there, and Carlos Sainz nowhere to go in that situation. That's why Perez went round. Carlos, I think, has picked up some damage as well there, but 3 wide into a Rouge on lap 1 was never going to work. No idea why none of them decided to back out of that one, but happy that, I mean, to be honest, in a bit of a selfish way, yeah, happy that our teammate Pierre has been able to make it through and also actually gained a couple of places from it, straight up into P4 for our teammate. But yeah, we cannot afford to let Max Verstappen romp away early on in this GP. Gap already up to 1.3 seconds, so we are going to have to really try and put the hammer down today. Yeah, I think trying to stick within the DRS is going to be critical, as that is not the line through P1. That's immediately going to be a track limits warning. We've got to be careful with those. They cost us last time round at Silverstone, but anyway, down through the bottom of the hill, through the Fanyas chicane. A little bit all over the road here. Got to try and get used to the car on full fuel again. But yeah, not too bad. Less than 2 seconds behind Max. Let's get our head down and focus, as we've definitely got a little bit more top end over him. There we go, Verstappen, fastest lap of the day. We have taken a couple of tenths out of him, though, through the final sector. Yeah, just got to really focus through Sector 1 and Sector 3. Sector 2, I think we're just going to accept today. The way the AI take a line out of P1, we're not really going to stand a chance through there. We've got more yellow flags. That is a Haas car now. Seems to have gone round at the rear of the field. Looks like they've just looped it, though. So perhaps trying to get on the throttle just a bit too soon. Anyway, are we going to see Verstappen or myself take fastest lap at the end of lap 2? This is more psychologically than anything else, as we try and put the power down out of the final corner. Verstappen at 40.9. Oh!
You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
38 thousandths of a second that time round between Max and I. We've definitely got some good pace in the car, but we need to try and keep Stroll out of the 1 second margin as well, which we haven't done this time.
Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
Team saying rain, 10 to 15 minutes. However, when they said that in the Williams RTG, it took a whole lot longer. That's the line you want, though, through the top of the hill chicane. Gap to Verstappen, now down to 1 second flat. There we go, new fastest lap.
Work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. We're leading our teammate by 2.5 seconds.
Max, I'm coming for you, mate. Better start checking your mirrors. We've got more yellow flags.
We're running low on fuel. You'll need to conserve what you have left in order to finish the race.
Looks like it's a McLaren going slowly. I want to say it's Valtteri Bottas who might be out then of this Belgian Grand Prix. And no, it is Daniel Ricciardo out, so McLaren with some reliability woes. But this race is already, yeah, a lot of different things going on, and we're only on lap 4. Team have just recommended me exactly the same strategy as what we were already planning on doing.
Okay, clear.
I love it when Jeff comes up with sensible ideas. I don't love it when we get a huge snap of oversteer up through a Rouge, however. Gap to Max, though, still sat at 1 second. We need to get a good run this lap, and we might be able to get the DRS on him. Come on, this has got to be the lap where we get the gap under 1 second there. Just dips down under the mark as we head in through Blanchimont. And you can see, yeah, top end speed. We've definitely just got that little bit extra still over Red Bull, which is rather worrying when you think how high downforce we're running. I'm guessing Verstappen is just using his battery elsewhere on the lap, but now we're inside the zone, as long as we keep it heading out turn 1. Bit of a lock-up on the way in. Big snap of oversteer on the way out. It's going to be mighty close, actually. So you head down in towards Eau Rouge, but luckily, yeah, we're just going to be on the right side of that 1 second mark, and let's just now see the sort of speed gains we get over Max Verstappen here. We've slowly pulled away from Lance Stroll, and just watch the speedo climb. 216, 217 as we head up towards the end of the Kennel Straight there. Purple through that first sector as well, rather unsurprisingly. And now we can read the Honda logos on the back of that Red Bull. Oh, that's not going to help. Really?
Your DRS is offline. The rear wing is down, so you can stay out while we work on a fix.
I mean, yeah, at least the wing's down, but it doesn't really help us at this stage of the day. Trying to apply pressure to Max Verstappen, and now really the big opportunities we were going to get have gone up like a puff of smoke. So we try and follow the Dutchman up through Blanchimont again. So we don't have many proper wheel-to-wheel battles with Max Verstappen on F1 2021. Is today finally going to be one of those days? I think, yeah, to be honest, we've been battling for World Championships with him.
Some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
We've got the team still saying rain 10 to 15 minutes as Pierre into the box. But yeah, like I was saying though, I think we've only ever really had about 2 wheel-to-wheel battles from what I can remember with Max. Is still the gap under 1. It kind of doesn't really matter at the moment, apart from obviously a little bit of slipstream we're going to be able to get from the Dutchman. Of course, no DRS means the gap isn't going to come down anywhere near as quickly as I would like there. And rather than 217, it's 208 miles an hour up the Kemmels Straight. Still, yeah, all over the back of this Red Bull. Just got to try and keep close through all the dirty air of Sector 2. Heading towards the end of lap 8, though, all over the back still of Max Verstappen as we head up through Blanchimont. But I think we're going to dive into the pits at the end of this one. And I think Max Verstappen is probably going to be doing the same. Yes, he is. So as we come into the pit lane here, all over the gearbox of the Red Bull. Make sure we get the car slowed down into the lane. But now the pressure falls on our 2 teams there. Is it going to be Red Bull? Is it going to be 212 Motorsport that get the slightly cleaner stop there? Looks like Verstappen has done pretty well as he's going to exit out of the lane. Russell is going to fly past and do another lap. 2 seconds though.
Go, go, go.
Oh, we've been released into the path of Max Verstappen. I mean, I'm not a fan of that, Codemasters. I mean, we should have probably been held there, but we're going to absolutely have it though, and take now the effective lead of the Grand Prix there. It's Verstappen. He's on hard. Oh no, he's not. I'm looking at Lance Stroll behind him. Look at this Verstappen though. He's going to immediately come straight back at me, so perhaps get in the position actually wasn't that ideal for us. There is with the DRS Verstappen. Clean around the outside there. We're going to have a look towards the outside at the top of the hill, but Verstappen just covers that one off. And yeah, George Russell 2 seconds up the road. He's probably going to be boxing rather soon as well in this GP. But yeah, after all of that, looks like we've come back out exactly where we were there. Jumped Verstappen in the pits through a little bit of an interesting release, I think we'll call it, by the team. But immediately the Dutchman gets the DRS and flies back past me. As look at the line he can take through Pouon. No way are we able to match that. I think though Verstappen's struggling in the wake of George Russell. Of course, we've been used to driving in the dirty air for a lot of the GP so far today. So trying to close back up to him. I'm sure Russell is going to be diving in as well at the end of this one. Yes, he is. So Verstappen now will re-inherit the lead of the Grand Prix as we try and put the power down at the final corner. That could have been a good opportunity to get really close to Max, but yeah, we need to get the DRS back online. Come on, team, get it fixed. This could be championship defining once again there, and could it just be little reliability issues, little technical gremlins that cost us come the end of the campaign? Have to wait and see here, as again gaining slightly, but it's not going to be enough on Verstappen as we head up the Kemmels Straight. This already, though, I'd argue, has probably been one of the best on-track battles I've had with the Dutchman. So we really tip it in through the chicane there. Again, purple through Sector 1. That time round without the DRS. Oh, again, we got another nice run out of Stavolo, though. I don't know why Verstappen seems to be struggling there. I think he's using a lot more of his battery earlier on in the lap, because he definitely seems slow heading up in towards the bus stop chicane here. Thought about having a look towards the inside there, but thought better of it as we weave our way through. Got the power down out of the final corner. Try to avoid the wheel spin. There we go. No fastest lap for you.
Keep this up.
We're going to immediately take that away from the Dutchman as we head back down through turn 1. Crossing over the halfway stage now of this GP. Still no DRS though for us, but this time we might be close enough to make the move anyway. So we head up through a Rouge and Radion once more. They're going to have to drain a lot of battery here. Is Verstappen going to do the same? Looks like he is.
Soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
Rain's still on the way though as we go wheel to wheel with Max Verstappen here at the top of the hill. Make sure we give him the room there, but Verstappen, he hasn't got the grip at the top of the hill there, and we do now move back into the lead of the GP.
With your fuel, we may not finish at this rate of usage.
Jeff constantly. Why? He's on such a downer here. We've just taken the lead of the race from my championship rival. It's all square on points, and he's there worried about the fuel, which we know by the end we'll be able to save. Trying to break out the DRS range of Max Verstappen, and if it didn't happen there, I don't think it's going to happen at all in this GP, as surely now Verstappen's going to be able to get a really nice run on me So we head up the Camel straight there. The Red Bull, though, doesn't have the best top-end speed in the world. And you can see he is gaining, but nowhere near as much as I'm sure the Dutchman would have wanted to here. I wonder if he's just trying to save tyres ready for the wet period. But I think when it rains, it's going to really pour pretty quickly. The track, however, definitely starting to get a little bit more overcast at this stage of the day. It was bad enough trying to decide when to pit or if not to pit onto wet tyres in the Williams RTG, and we haven't got a championship battle on the line in that one. I keep saying it every race at the moment, but it's that close between Verstappen and I. Every point matters.
Teammate behind is 9.6 seconds.
Did I just see a few splatterings of rain? I don't think so just yet. The track is definitely getting overcast. We almost got the gap over the 1 second. There we go. I see rain. I see rain on the halo and on the front of the cockpit. It's now here in the Belgian GP. We're still hanging on ahead of Max Verstappen for now. But surely, yeah, if the rain's going to get heavy, which it was predicted to, may as well set ourselves up for a set of inters, because that should hopefully mean... Nice kick of wheel spin there. Yeah, that should mean the team are normally pretty good at recommending it if they know you're already thinking about making the stop. But 9 laps to go here from Belgium, and we're getting a repeat of the Williams RTG right now. So Verstappen is certainly no slouch in the wet, but the AI in these sort of slick conditions tend to have quite a big advantage, it feels like, or at least against me anyway, on F1 2021.
Strategy option.
Team recommending new strat. They're saying pit now. And I think, you know what, as a few more spots arrive on the circuit, that's not a bad shout there. Verstappen stays out for another lap here. Have maybe the team actually called it 1 lap too soon? DRS hasn't been disabled just yet. Oh no! It doesn't look... Are we seeing other cars into the pits? Yes, looks like Lance Stroll is going to come in. So has Verstappen then botched the strategy? Pierre's come in as well. We've got a Haas that's also going on to a set of the intermediate tyres there. So I think Verstappen might have made a bit of a boo-boo in this one. 2.7 second stop isn't particularly brilliant, but...
These tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
If this comes down to a gap of a couple of tenths next time round, I'll be very, very surprised there. As Max Verstappen going to be about 17.5 ahead of us when you take the Camel straight... Oh, yeah, it's not flat out anymore. Into account there. Let's just see if we can close up some of that time, as Tsunoda already now just 4 seconds in front of me. I think, yeah, Verstappen might have just played this one too long in the Grand Prix. So head through. There we go. DRS has been disabled. And the gap immediately going the right way again.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
Feels so nice for once to be the car that made the right tyre choice rather than the wrong one here. As Tsunoda... Oh, he almost got unlapped by Mick Schumacher there, but Tsunoda... I mean, look at this, around the outside on the exit of Stablo there. Got to be careful the Merc doesn't understeer out in towards me. But yeah, Verstappen has lost a good sort of 3 seconds this lap. I don't think it'll make too much difference about P2. I think, to be honest, yeah, we had such a big advantage over the guys behind. But he's probably still going to re-inherit P2 in this Grand Prix, and I'm sure then he's going to be trying to close back up. But he's done well there to keep it on the island. There's now everyone just trying to explore and find out where the limits of grip are. So we head out of the final corner, though. Let's just re-inherit the lead of this Grand Prix. That Stroll still in podium positions here as past Verstappen we go. Yeah, we're definitely going to have a few seconds now in the pocket. 7 laps to go here of the Belgian Grand Prix, and the gap about 5 seconds. That was a critical choice that we made then. I'm getting the sense at the moment that Verstappen is really trying to drive in anger late on in the Belgian Grand Prix. Of course, just 5 laps to go here, and the gap's actually going the right way for us. Up now to 5.2 seconds. It was down to about low 4s just a moment ago. So yeah, Verstappen, I think, knowing or accepting perhaps that he might have gone the wrong way this weekend there. And Red Bull have been known in this series to go for some dodgy pit stop choices before. It was a 50-50 gamble there. I wonder if the team told him do whatever. I don't. But it just so happens at the moment, it looks like this time round we made the right call, as now should be able to look past Robert Schwartzman. 5 to go here, 5 seconds. We need to take no risks between now and the end. Thank you, Nikita. Got a little bit worried then, to be honest. Actually had flashes of Verstappen versus Ocon at Brazil 2019 with Nikita in the way. Completely different circumstances, but yeah, 3 to go then. And to be honest, I'm also really happy that the wet weather tweaks I made to the setup for the car actually works as well. Because, yeah, Verstappen is not keeping up with me for the most part. And it still meant we had enough pace in qualifying. Starting the final lap then of this Belgian Grand Prix.
This is your final lap of the race.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Yeah, what a race this has turned out to be then. Like I said, a proper duel between myself and Max Verstappen.
By 0.5 per lap.
To be honest, actually looking at the top three, Lance Stroll has been the quickest of the three of us late on in the Grand Prix, further solidifying himself. He's actually a pretty handy wet weather racer in real life and on F1 2021 as well there. But yeah, Verstappen led the way throughout a lot of the early stages, but we knew we had to try and apply pressure there, see if we could force a mistake out of Red Bull. And then, of course, yeah, jumped him in the pit stops. He immediately got back past me with the DRS.
It's going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. You should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water.
Jeff, honestly, read the room, mate. But yeah, Verstappen, though, yeah, got a little bit unlucky when it came round to the second stops. Yeah, of course, I think, like I said, the team told him, do whatever I don't do. And yeah, ooh. Don't bottle it now, Matt, please. But yeah, Verstappen, though, been a bit unlucky today, but he has had the luck of the green in recent races as well there as we head through the final couple of corners. Gap's actually going to come back down and make the race look a little bit closer there after we almost tip it round by myself. But anyway, heading up out of Stavelot for the final time then in this Grand Prix towards Blanchimont. He reclaimed the lead of the Drivers' Championship last time round with a race victory, but here at Spa it's going to be pole position, fastest lap and race victory. Makes it look very, very simple on paper, but certainly the best battle I've had with Verstappen on F1 2021. They're rounding the final corners here of the Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to re-inherit the championship lead there. That we absolutely love.
Yes, you've done it. Well done.
What a great race then, and what a magnificent victory here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack. And having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
Here comes your top three making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One. Mr. Monaco takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
But there's no question in my mind, it has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right to be proud of what he accomplished out there today.
Let's move on to the constructors. The owner-drivers team moved to the top of the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the Belgian Grand Prix there, and like I said, pole position, fastest lap, race victory. Made it look pretty simple on paper, but you guys that have stuck around today know that was absolutely not the case there. Verstappen P2, Lance Stroll in P3 there, picks up some silverware for him. Maybe we'll see more of that if Mercedes pull their finger out over the next couple of seasons as well there. But Gasly in fourth there, finally a good result for our teammate, means we should re-inherit the Constructors' Championship lead once again. Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Tsunoda, and then Russell and Aitken there. Russell got driver of the day. To be honest, I think Jack Aitken probably deserved it there, dragging that Alfa Romeo 2 more points there. Perez rounded out your top 10 there, and you can see the rest of your finishes. Just Bottas actually didn't make it to the end, and Ricciardo there. I must have missed Bottas retiring from the GP, unless he did it right on the last lap there. But Championship-wise, though, like we said, the gap reopens up 8 points at the top, and yeah, just 5 points between Sergio and Pierre means that we should reclaim the lead in the Constructors' Championship. Lando Norris jumps Daniel Ricciardo as well in the battle of the former McLaren drivers there, and yeah, look at that, George Russell, first points of the year, so yeah, actually, fair play. Yeah, driver of the day then. I think George Russell has earned that one. Of course, Jack Aitken won't be his first point of the year there, but certainly will help Alfa Romeo out, and I think actually be some of... I think they already scored 1 point this year there, and yeah, Schwartzman jumps Mick Schumacher on countback as well. That means, yeah, constructors-wise, just Alpine and Haas yet to score at this stage of the campaign there, but 3 points the gap at the top of the championship. Aston Martin with that result though, yeah, do leapfrog straight up into P7 ahead of Alfa Romeo and Williams there. Williams have had a much faster car pretty much all season, just have not been able to string it together come race day there. But thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. If you have enjoyed it, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more F1 2021 content. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.